Hey, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining the channel. Good to see you again. Today I got something a little unique. This is vintage Autovox AM radio, long wave, medium wave. So this thing is one of the first transistorized radios to come out of Europe. It's I'm not going to say it's the first, but it is one of the first. It is very old. And it is made in Italy by the Autovox. You can see that. SPA Roma, made in Italy. And this is an interesting one. It has dual duty as a portable radio because it has a built-in handle. And it also has rails on both sides. So this will slide into a dock, and here is if you look here, there's a connector for a card edge connector, and this thing's spring loaded. Plus you can put your own batteries in here and use it independent from the vehicle, or you can plug it in your dash and let's do it while you're driving. It's kind of interesting design. It's really interesting design, to be honest. So yeah, and I did have the badge. I think it fell off here somewhere. So if I look around my room, I'd probably find the badge for this. But it's a shame that fell off. So let's have a look at it. This is your volume control. Power switch that shuts it off. It allows you to select between medium wave and long wave. And from 520 to 610 kilohertz, 155 to 275 kilohertz on long wave. Really nice design of this thing. It has a little compartment here for our batteries. Let's see if we can get this thing. Looks like it takes AA's. Let's put some AA's in it and see what it does. Now I've had this thing for such a long time, I can't even remember where it came from or what the story is behind it, but it's been kicking around here for a lot of years, and I don't think I've ever powered it up or ever opened it or looked at it, aside from looking at the outside of this. So let's see how this goes today with some fresh batteries. I kind of have a feeling you can see inside there like somebody maybe tried painting this. There's corrosion in there or what, but let's set this up. This one goes here. And if I look over here, this one goes like this, and like this. Okay, so we are shut off. Yep. Don't see much Italian electronics from the 60s. I guess it probably was common back in the day, but I don't know. Okay, let's try medium wave. Getting nothing. Yeah, those batteries aren't making contact. That's okay. We can open it and put power to it. Not the greatest shape. Alright, so there's two Phillips screws in the bottom. I think we pull these out. We should be able to separate the case from the rest of it. Oh, wow. It's nice. Look at this thing. I think I have the disc, the aluminum disc that was glued in here as well, fell out. I think I have that somewhere as well. See, this one, it still has this side. And you can see the edge connector here. I don't know what this green thing is. It's a switch. It's some kind of switch that's activated when you plug it into the dock. Okay. Very cool. Now I expect this is germanium technology. I don't know if I can see a few here. Yeah, they are germaniums. You can see them here. There's one here and here. Let's see, open devices. Speaker, I don't know what's holding it in. Speaker is being held in by these plastic clips. See if we can get the speaker free. There we go. There we go. 3 wires. What's going on here? One's a ground. All right. Get a better look at the circuitry. Now, look at these glass transistors here. 1, 2. There's a metal can one here. And 2 output devices. There's another glass one under here. I really like to get the power to this thing to see if it runs, but let's have a look at what's going on here. Okay, what is that? This. There's 2 wires coming out here, and they go to the printed circuit board. Can you see that? No, you can't. Let's see. Where does its wires go? Okay, so here's one. And here's the other. I just don't want to be cooking things up backwards and have things blowing up on me here. What I'm going to do is ohm this out, and I'm going to figure out which is positive, which is negative, so I don't want to hook it up backwards and blow up any chance of this thing making noise. So I'll do that here. Okay, so this one's negative, this one's positive. Let's try this with the bench supply. So when I connect the power, I got it at about 5 3/4 volts here. I connect the power, I have about 22 milliamps draw and totally silent. When I push this button, the current consumption drops to 0. Turn the volume up. Doesn't make any difference. There's nothing coming out. Okay. Let's see if we have our power amplifiers alive. Nothing in the... Oh, there we go. Okay. So our amplifier is working. What's this? Okay. Full volume. Very quiet. So we have two areas where signal right here. What is going on here? Is it a bad cap? Let's check some of these caps. I'm pretty sure some of them are dead. It's completely open. Let's see what else. This one here. That one's alive. $25, that's not good. And there's some other ones here. I think what we're going to have to do is go through all of these caps. 3.5, that's not bad. Here's one. I think it's this one. 15. Yeah, these caps are really done for. Going to have to go through and replace some of these. Oh boy, how do I get this cover off? I think I have to remove the handle. There's a screw here and here. And I'll take off these two, I think. Take this one out as well. Okay. I don't know what value these are supposed to be. This one's 200 microfarad 12 volts. And this one says 2 at 3 volts. Oh no. Paint's coming off these transistors. Just let's remove the speaker. Just so it doesn't get damaged and we don't break wires. Okay. Very old board. You got to be very careful with the traces. So I'm just going to lift this leg here. Yeah, it's already lifting. Okay, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Cree-S. 200 microfarad, 12 volts. Let's see what it says. The board's not marked at all, is it? Yes, it is, actually. That's surprising. All right. This one's surprising. It comes out at 230 microfarads and 2.2 ohms, which is, well, it should be down around half an ohm or less. So yeah, definitely bad caps in this thing. So let me start with doing some recapping. Okay, so I replaced 3 caps so far. This one here is at 200 at 12 volts. All right. I don't know if you can, maybe if I take this plastic off, you can read it better. Let's see here. This plastic sleeve. There we go. So that's what the brand is, Cree-S. If you can read that. C70D, 200 at 12, 638. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a date code, 63. Year, 8 week, and then this positive end. This one actually tested not bad though. This is at 200. This one tested at about 250 microfarad or so. Still has high ESR, but it's still good. Here's another one I took out. This is a 50 at 3. And this one tests out at 12. No, actually it's about 10 microfarad instead of 50. And our ESR is damn near a kilo ohm, somewhere around there, so that one's pretty much shot. This one here, this is a 2 at 3. See, it's 54.7. I don't think that's a date code. I don't know what that is. Cree-S. This one tests poor, or bad, and it comes back at 46 picofarads. So this is our culprit right here. One of them anyway. We know that. So let's put some power to this and see if we have any noise yet. Kind of interesting to get this thing working. So let's put 6 volts here again. All right, turning it on medium wave.
Are that to me?
Oh, cool.
My first thought was my parents. Yeah, cliche, but it's all.
It's working. Right on.
They were the first.
But that's full volume. So I think we still have some work to do.
I celebrate you today and every day. I should probably call more often. But now it's really fascinating to see some of the names that parents.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going because I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 caps to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 caps to go at least. And these black ones, I don't know what they are. I think these are. I can't even read these. It's like alien to me. It's just from a different planet. Let's take this off. So let's continue with the cap changing and we'll see how this thing performs. Okay, I got a little problem here. These 2 caps here, I need to change them. I'd like to change them. I don't think they're bad though. I think they're still okay. But they're buried under this switch. And this switch is held in. It looks like it's held in with a couple of nails. I'll show you if I can show you one of these nails. You see this nail here? And it goes through the white plastic and then goes through the board and then it's got like a nail end on it. Let's see if I can pull these out without breaking anything. It's pretty tight. I think this is the way in. Okay. Yeah, the nail expands the rivet, and that's what holds it in the board. Okay, so I can pull this nail out, and that'll afford me some room. Let's do this side as well. Let's see, it's very tight. I don't want to break anything. There we go. I think that's it. So this should be loose enough that I can maybe lift it from the board and get at those solder connections. But let's just leave that for now. I'm going to play with this. I saw a couple screws under here, under the handle. Let's get this cover off. It's filthy dirty. I want to put it in the ultrasonic and start cleaning it. And I'm kind of pretty confident this will remove the cover. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Alright, so I'll give this all a good clean and see how filthy it is. This is good. This thing's just snapped in place. I can probably remove this easy. Very carefully. Plastics are very old and brittle. And here's my dial scale. Look at the yellowing from the light. I'll try cleaning that, but I'm scared I might take off some of the graphics. Okay, now we got a good look at this. We got our bar antenna. It's a really well built radio. Like, it's no skimping on quality, that's for sure. It was really well built. So I still have, what is it, 3. I got one here. This one's going to be difficult, this capacitor. And then there's got 1, 2 here. And the other ones I have finished. So let me keep chugging away here. Alright, so let's have a good look at this thing. It's kind of unique in its own way. It's got all the transformer cans. Look like they're made from copper. This thing has the AF 117 transistors. I don't know if you can see that. And they are the metal can ones that develop the tin whiskers. But in this application, they have cut one wire off, which is the shield, I'm assuming. And they're only using the three conductors instead of the 4. So these 3 here are the AF 117s. And then the black ones, these glass ones, are OC 75s. There's one back here, one here, and then there's a one here that lost its paint job. I don't know, it just fell off when I looked at it. So that's what they do. You know, I'll zoom in on this one. You can have a good look at this. Very early germanium transistors. They put them in a glass tube, and they filled them with this silicon gel. It's the same kind of stuff they use on the heat sinks. Conducts the heat away. And you can see, if you look at it, you can see the little wafer, the germanium wafer, and then it's got the bond wires going to it. And then it all goes out the bottom like kind of like a light bulb. It's all sealed in this glass tube. It's really cool. I like the early European transistors were like this. They had the glass bulb. So I'll try and turn that. Maybe you can see through the gel. There's a wafer in the middle, and then on each side there's a bond wire that goes out. So your base would be your center, and then your collector emitter come out the sides. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, look at this. They have little incandescent bulbs here. There's one here, and they're wired in series, it looks like. And I believe that's backlight for the scale. It goes like this, actually. So that would be backlighting for the scale. And I'm assuming that only comes on when it's plugged into the car power, not the battery. It's got a nice big ferrite bar. It's got this potentiometer sounds really clean after, this thing's 60 years old, at least. And this potentiometer sounds like brand new. And big banana slicer here. This is a 2-gang tuning. That's all they need really, just for the one for the oscillator, one for the tuned circuit in the beginning. Here's the edge connector for plugging into the dock for the car, and it looks like it had some kind of plating on it. It's not gold, but it looks silver, and it is worn, so it has spent time sitting in the car and being pulled in and out. This was kind of like your entertainment system. You take it with you wherever you go. You plug it in the car when you're driving. When you're done, you go to the beach, you pull it out, and continue listening to your music. It's pretty cool. Looks like they had room here for something expansion. I don't know if that was a different model maybe they had. Interstage transformers. One of these, I believe, this one is, let's see here. I'm not sure which one. This one here, I think, is the output, and this one's the interstage. Here's our push-pull audio outputs. And then we have 2 stages of amplification here. The volume pot, and then there's down here. I don't see any diodes in this thing. Maybe they're using transistors as diodes for the discriminator. I haven't seen a diode yet. I should look around for one. And then there's these black capacitors. I can't read them. And they don't make it, whatever's on them doesn't make sense to me. VIN 150, but I can't read that. Here's another one, VIN 150. I don't know what it says. Now, I'm looking on Radio Museum to see if I can find a schematic for this. I'm going to see if I can find it, but my internet's down right now. So as soon as I get it up, find a schematic, we'll put it on the screen and I'll have a look at it. Okay, so I looked for a schematic on this thing, and I found quite a few different ones. I think they made several variations of the same radio. Come back with the, what is it called? The Transmobil 2. Or no, sorry, yeah, the Transmobil 2, the TR3, and the TR222. So they had a little different modules, and I see different ones had different band. Like instead of medium wave, they had instead of switching between 2 bands, they had a switch for car use and portable. And then they had another one I saw that had, instead of long wave, it had I think it was a shortwave band. So yeah, different variations on the same theme. So I'll put up a schematic for the one I think is the correct one. I'm not really sure, but it shows kind of a unique output section, and all the stages, 8 transistors, and it has the switched front end for the different bands, and everything looks good. And then it also has the on the far top, on the top of the schematic, it has a switch for the dock, and that is to specify whether it's being used by batteries or on the car. Now these are all 6-volt radios, and I think they're positive ground too. I didn't check that, but I should. Put a protection diode in if I have a chance, but it's definitely unique radio. So here it is. It's all cleaned up. I got this switch deoxed. It's very fragile. You don't want to bend this. And it has tuning here. I'm not going to go through. I don't even know what the intermediate frequency is. I guess I could measure it tune it to a known station and then measure the oscillator frequency and do the math. But I'm not going to do any tuning on this. It's not going to get used as far as portable, because the battery connector here, I don't know if you can see inside there, it looks like somebody tried fixing it with silver paint, and I don't think those are going to make contact at all. I'd have to put something different in there. And this is all one unit and it's spring loaded. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'd have to disassemble the whole thing. I really don't want to. It shows that's got a serial number there. And another thing is, I think these black capacitors are paper. And this one here, for example, it looks like UF 0.25. So is that a quarter of a microfarad? And this capacitor has cracks in it, in the housing. It's all cracked. So I suspect they're leaky. I'm not going to go through the effort of replacing those as well. Did the electrolytics, so it should be good enough to work. Let's connect it up and try it out one more time. Okay, let's try this one more time. This is my negative. This one's positive. Power's off right now, 0 milliamps. Of course. Just going to bite this blob of solder here. There we go.
Destinations you've always wanted to visit.
It's got some good volume now.
Let's make your dream getaway happen. Plaza, online, or just give us a call.
So those caps really waked it up.
To your community. News. Today's talk. Randy and
Global news. For nearly 30 years, I've knocked on offenders.
Yeah, okay. Medium wave's working great. Long wave? There's really nothing on long wave in North America. It's been dead for many, many years. What's going on here? How come I touch the bar? It is picking up signals, just nothing that's used today. So alright, I can put this back in the case. Well, there it is, a little look at the Autovox. I don't know what this is called. I think it's called Transmobil 2, I'm guessing, I'm not sure. So here's the caps we took out. This dirty looking one here was the one that was completely open. I think it measured 45 picofarads, and the rest of these were out of tolerance, but still very, very tired and out of tolerance too. So I'm going to put this back together. I think we're done with this, repairing it or playing around with it anyway. I'm going to put it back together and get nice look at it. I did clean the top up and it came out looking pretty good. It's a little sparkly. So let's put this back. Now I love collecting old radios like this, the old transistors. The European ones really were a big part of my interest when I was a lot younger. I used to get a lot of old radios from different people. They'd use them, and then when they died, they'd give it to me. I remember when I was 9 years old, it was like all my Christmases came at once when my grandmother gave me a bunch of her old dead radios. And I think there was about, I can't even remember, but there was quite a few there in the mix. There was some old European transistor radios, there was some line power tube radios, there was clock radios, there was shortwave ones, and she just gave them all to me because she knew I had an interest in it. And I was only 9 years old at the time, and here she's giving me tube radios with line power, and I was poking around inside with them, but managed to live through that. So yeah, it's nice. It's going to go on the shelf, I think. It's a nice piece. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.